drama, emotion and great goals, round 4 offered up the full spectrum of cup football. We're down to the last 16 in the Emirates FA Cup, and everyone will feel they're in the mix. Are we about to see new colours on the trophy? Welcome to the Emirates FA Cup preview show. Coming up is Carlo Ancelotti, the man to end Everton's long wait.
I don't think that we are desperate, but we have the great motivation to try to win some trophies this season.
As Barnsley prepare to host Chelsea, we revisit one of the great FA Cup shocks.
Every year there's a big story, and that year it happened to be us.
34 in May. Is this Mark Noble's last chance of success?
If we win the FA Cup this year, it will be a dream come true if that happened. You just need that little bit of luck, and I'm hoping it's this year for us.
Heartbroken 2 years ago, Swansea hoped for better against Manchester City.
We're really looking forward to the game. It's going to be a really tough challenge, but one we want to embrace, and one that we hopefully won't have any regrets from.
And in our cup quiz, do you know your history?
In '95, I'd just been born.
The fifth round sees two managerial greats go toe-to-toe. If the measurement of a manager is trophies, few can be considered more successful than Jose Mourinho and Carlo Ancelotti. They've managed at Europe's elite and share a mutual respect.
I know very well, Jose is a good friend of mine, we have a good relationship, and of course we are opponents for that game, but after that the friendship will remain.
I think everyone in football admires Carlo as a coach and as a person. He's one of the top managers in the world of the last 2 decades, and of course now.
Despite their heavyweight status, the two have only met on 6 previous occasions.
No, not a lot of time, but when he was in Italy we played against. He was in Inter, I was in Milan, we had derby. We played one time when I was in Chelsea and he was at Inter. And usually there were more defeat than victory. I think that this season for every team is up and down. The fact that there are no fans, there are a lot of away victory, there are a lot of unpredictable results. And so Tottenham was at the top of the table a few months ago. We were at the beginning at the top of the table. It's a team with a lot of quality, an experienced manager, fantastic players. So, of course, we have to take care of them. It is a really important competition for us because the FA Cup is always important in England. Above all for Everton, that is. I don't think that we are desperate, but we have the great motivation to try to win some trophies this season.
It's been a progressive season for Everton under the Italian, who's attracted A-list players and developed those at the club.
In the summer, we had the opportunity to sign players that I knew, that I worked with in the past, Alan, James, and I think that James has a lot of quality. Richarlison and Dominic Calvert-Lewin are more powerful players. This combination can be good, can be helpful for us to have success.
It was their last trophy 26 years ago, but Ancelotti believes he can bring the FA Cup back to Goodison.
It is a fantastic dream for everyone. We know that it's really difficult because the competition here is really high, but we have to try to use our strength, our motivation, our ambition to reach the final. It's an opportunity that we have that can give us the possibility to play in Europe next season. The real target of this season is to play in Europe next season, and of course if we are able to win the FA Cup, it will be fantastic. We know how our fans are passionate. With closed door, we had a lot of difficulties at home. It was enough to have 2,000 supporters at the stadium during the game against Chelsea and Arsenal to be able to win the game. Our fans missed us a lot, and we would like to have them soon at the stadium, at Goodison Park.
In Ancelotti's corner, cup winner in '95, Duncan Ferguson.
Duncan has a lot of charisma, he knows very well the club, he was here, and it is important to have charisma in front of the player. He's working a lot with the strikers to give to them some secrets in the box. I think that with this job, Dominic improved a lot, and we have a good relationship.
But there can't be a split decision. One side will have to find the knockout.
To go forward in the FA Cup, I think, is the target of all the teams in England, because I said it's the oldest competition in the world, and is a really attractive competition. And I had the luck to win this trophy with Chelsea, and I have a fantastic memory of that moment.
Bournemouth are the only club left in the competition who failed to reach at least the semi-finals. The Championship side face Burnley, aiming to reach their first quarter-final in almost 2 decades. There's a meeting between 2 former finalists at the King Power as Leicester City take on Brighton. The Foxes reached Wembley in 1969, losing to Manchester City, whilst the Seagulls were runners-up in 1983 to Manchester United. Chris Wilder's Sheffield United will be looking to make it a Bristol double on Wednesday. The Blades boss brought up a century of Sheffield United wins in the 3rd round victory at Bristol Rovers.
They're in again for 3-2. This is unbelievable. Nothing blunt about the Blades today. They've scored a 3rd here.
Now United face Championship Bristol City. Southampton's reward for knocking out the holders Arsenal in the last round is an away tie at Wolves, who were narrow winners at Chorley thanks to a wonder strike from Vitinha.
Stunner after 11 minutes and Wolves are ahead.
Obviously, we've got nothing to lose. We weren't expected to win.
Yeah, very memorable evening, and the atmosphere, yeah, it was really special.
The FA Cup is renowned for making heroes.
Odegaard, yes! What a leap and what a goal!
In 2008, the holders Chelsea went to Barnsley, and another famous chapter was written.
That's what it's all about, you know, you're in the cup, you're in the draw, and you hope to get those big teams and, you know, pit your wits against them. And, you know, there was none bigger than sort of Chelsea at the time, and, you know, with all the names and superstars that they've got in their team.
It's unbelievable stuff from Barnsley. The holders are out.
I remember the first couple of rounds, you know, they weren't particularly attractive ties. The Blackpool game wasn't too pretty, the Southend game was worse, and it was a real scrap. Little did we know how important that game was to be.
A warm welcome to Anfield on a sunny and crisp winter's afternoon.
Obviously, when the big teams come in, then you're hoping for one of the big 4 or 5 teams, preferably at home, but you couldn't really complain when you draw Liverpool at Anfield. You know, I was buzzing with that one. I think we had a set piece which I was up for, the ball got cleared, and normally I might have been running back toward the halfway line, but it was almost instinct to just stay up there and see what happens.
Great ball in from Devaney, and the header's in! A goal for Stephen Foster!
Obviously, I've seen the goal a few times through replays, and you know, it's obviously one of the highlights of my career. You know, to score against Liverpool at the Cop End, you know, it was an emotional one for me. As my dad died the year before I came to Barnsley, all the emotion seemed to pour out in that when I scored that equaliser. 40
seconds remaining, but Brian Howard on the ball here, sure that he was fouled, and he scores now! What a dramatic moment in FA Cup history!
No one quite expected it. The fans, you know, obviously fantastic in the game, just absolutely over the moon, and it was yeah, it was great.
It's a quarter-final tie here to savour.
Chelsea surely will be on their toes after Liverpool's demise.
We wanted to win, and we thought we were capable of at least giving them a good run.
This is where it happened. Just watched the flight of the ball as it came into the box, and timed it well enough to get up above the Pedicini and nod it down. The rest was kind of a bit of a blur.
We saw that in training every day. We knew he was capable of that. I'm sure John Terry won't forget that game in a hurry. He gave them a real tough time.
It was just crazy. I mean, like I said, the pitch invasion and trying to walk back and get through the tunnel. The fans were just everywhere, and it was great scenes, and like I said, just a great moment. When you're beating Liverpool and Chelsea, and then you're just that one game away from the final, you're just thinking anything could happen, and it would have been an unbelievable story.
Odegaard setting off through the middle. He's onside. Still Odegaard. Yes. No. Oh, goodness me! How did he put that wide?
Would have loved to have scored the goal because we could have gone on and won it. But when I look back on the cup run, it's not what I think about. I think about beating Liverpool, beating Chelsea, what it did for us as a club and as a town, and bringing everyone together.
We played quite well on the day, not a lot between the two teams. So yeah, it's one of those that'll stick in my mind, just thinking, it could have been us.
Barnsley 2021 share many qualities with the side that reached the last four 13 years ago. Valérien Ismaël's team have already knocked out Championship leaders Norwich. Chelsea once again find themselves in transition, and history suggests Thomas Tuchel's first taste of cup football will be a test.
With Chelsea in town, there was definitely a massive buzz around the club, around the town, everywhere. Every year there's a big story, and that year it happened to be us, and it's the beauty of the cup. It's why everyone loves it so much, because you get these stories every year.
Still to come, the Welsh club, flourishing under an England World Cup winner.
He knows what it takes to be a very good young player, so he's helping our younger lads now to try and fulfil their full potential.
And there are no clues in our FA Cup quiz.
Go on, tell me. When I grew up, the FA Cup was a massive occasion for everyone. I remember actually playing in the FA Cup thinking, oh my God, I can't believe this.
For Mark Noble, a first FA Cup appearance came as a 17-year-old in 2005.
It was Norwich at home. I think we won 1-0. I remember there was a point in the game where I think it was Luke Chadwick got to the byline. I was literally in front of the goal, about 3 yards out, for a tap-in, and I think the O'Reilly hit it behind me. And it's something that's never left me, really. I'm thinking it was a chance to score, do you know what I mean, on the FA Cup debut, but that Norwich game for me was an amazing occasion.
Noble's first goal for his boyhood club came in the Cup 2 years later.
Was it Brighton? Yes, Carlos Tevez chested it down to me and a sort of volley into the ground. Yeah, I remember my family being up in the box at Upton Park, and I remember Teddy Sheringham was warming up on the touchline, and I run and jumped on him into his arms. It was a great occasion.
The three-time winners from East London have reached a total of 5 finals, the most recent in 2006, with Noble at the game as a fan.
I went to the game, I was online, I come back, and Alan Pardew took me and my mate who was in the youth team at the time, Chrissy Cohen, up to the game, and we travelled with the team, but we didn't make the bench.
Oh, it's in! Paul Konchesky!
We thought we'd won. We played that well, and Stevie G had other plans on the day.
Oh, goodness me!
It was a fantastic occasion for the fans to see that, and was so close to winning the FA Cup.
And Liverpool have won the FA Cup!
Now 33, Noble has led this season's Hammers to wins over Doncaster, and before that, Stockport in round 3.
As soon as we got there and we see the pitch, it reminded me of a cup final you get to with the school, and the pitch is the rain and there's no one there, obviously, because of COVID, and within 15 minutes my boots were waterlogged, and it was just a great game to be involved in.
The fifth round takes West Ham to Old Trafford, and despite 2 narrow cup defeats to United in recent seasons, the Hammers have lost just once in 2021.
Manchester United are in a great reign of form at the minute. You know, they're a top team, got some top players, but we've been playing well ourselves this season, and it's just one that we can go to Old Trafford, enjoy the game. You know, like, we're in a great position in the league. We're going to make the most of it, and we're going to go there to win.
It's been done before. Every West Ham fan remembers 2001.
I think it was Freddie Canute put Di Canio through on goal, and the Barthez raised his arm as if he was offside, and great finish from Paolo. And it's the game that gets looked back on fondly from West Ham fans because of beating Manchester United in the Cup, but let's hope something like that happens again on Tuesday night, because it'd be a great occasion for us.
And manager David Moyes has set a target for his squad this season: win the FA Cup for the man they call Mr. West Ham.
I didn't know he said that, but do you know what? I'm 34 in May. Everyone knows I'm a West Ham fan.
He's the fan on the pitch, isn't he? Local boy.
If we win the FA Cup this year, it will be a dream come true if that happens. So at the minute, the boys are flying, got great team spirit, training's good, and you just need that little bit of luck, and I'm hoping it's this year for us.
In 2017, Lincoln City travelled to Premier League Burnley, aiming to become the first non-league team to reach the last 8 in more than a century.
Having that cup run has really raised the profile. It's maybe put Lincoln back on the map, and there's a lot of young people now that support Lincoln that maybe didn't before.
It happened so quickly, and it was such a roller coaster that you didn't really have a chance to appreciate it or understand it. It was kind of just like winning the football lottery.
Over it comes, bit of space, far edge of the penalty area, and the header in! Oh, had it gone over the line? Yes, it has! Lincoln City are ahead!
These sort of stories are possible if a group of people work really hard together and align themselves, and I think it was a really special journey for us, and obviously one that we'll never forget.
There goes the final whistle! Would you believe it? They've only gone and done it again! Lincoln City from the National League are through to the last 8 of the FA Cup.
Football miracle for a non-league team to be in the last 8, I think, and the levels that they got to and the way that they performed has definitely set a new benchmark for us.
I can always remember Ronnie Radford's goal, and also some of the other brilliant underdog stories that live on as great FA Cup memories, and thought that maybe we'll be one of them is pretty special.
Welsh club Swansea City are thriving under the guidance of a World Cup winning coach with England's under-17s 4 years ago. His name? Steve Cooper.
We've got a lot of young players in the squad that are training with us every day, and we're trying to give them as many opportunities as we can, and whether they're going through good or bad moments is offering the same level of support. It's always good to see them doing well, but it's also important that they know we're always there for them when things are not so good as well, and that's how we work.
Obviously, he worked with youthful players before he came and managed us, so he knows what it takes to be a very good young player, so he's helping our younger lads now to try and fulfil their full potential.
In the fifth round, the Championship side face Manchester City, reuniting the Swansea manager with Phil Foden and Raheem Sterling.
I was at Liverpool coaching the academy when he joined, so I know from that period he quickly moved away from the academy, truth be told, and was in the first team environment, and obviously has gone on to do so well. And I've seen him once or twice in and around the England environment from my time there. I worked with Phil quite a few times over a couple of years with England, and obviously it's fantastic to see how well he's doing and the contribution he's having now in the first team. He's obviously a really good player, but he's a really, really good lad as well.
When Cooper arrived at Swansea in 2019, he showed his faith in youth, making a 24-year-old the captain.
Obviously, it was a massive honour given to me by the gaffer, and I feel like I've kind of just grown into the role over the past year and a half. There's a lot more responsibility, probably more than what I realised. just kept learning day by day, game by game, and feel like it's just part of who I am as a player now.
I don't treat a captain just as a player that wears the armband. It's much more important to me and the responsibility and the role that they play. And he does that really well. He takes it very seriously, both on and off the pitch. He understands the responsibility, really growing in the role, and just hope he can keep it going.
And the Swansea captain played a key role in the fourth-round victory over Nottingham Forest.
Just remember the ball coming to the edge of the box, take a touch out of my feet and just thought strike it as well as I can, and just flew in, so couldn't really call it much sweeter.
You know, to score 5 goals against Forest, it was a great return, and of course the objective was just to get to the next round, but we did that and did it in style. A few more of them wouldn't go amiss.
The last time the Swans faced City was in the FA Cup in 2019, a match Grimes will never forget.
I remember it was a very tough game. Obviously, they had an array of quality playing. They're a fantastic team. Just before the game, the assistant manager came up to me and said, "Do you want to hit penalties today?" Because Ollie McBurney, who was our main penalty taker, was ill. And then suddenly we had a penalty, so I didn't think too much of it until I put the ball on the spot and then just struck it as best I could, and thankfully went in. The second goal was a very good goal, actually. It was a perfect start for us. But like I said, with the quality that they've got, it was obviously always going to be a tough battle in the second half, and then they just came through with a few moments of quality and won the game. So disappointing day in the end, but I was really proud of the team and how we played that day.
That season, City went on to win England's 4 major trophies. But 2 years later, Swansea believe they can test this year's favourites.
We see it week in, week out in the Premier League, and I've done for a number of years under Pep. So, yeah, in terms of threat-wise, it's probably as big as it comes. I, as many other coaches, have admired his work for many years, and to think that they're going to come up against one of his teams is brilliant. You know, challenging, you know, and somewhat daunting. But, you know, we look forward to welcoming him to the Liberty and taking on the challenge.
Obviously, they're a very strong team, but any team on their day is beatable, and I'm sure we'll have the right tactics going into it.
We're not thinking too far ahead in the next game, whether it's a cup game or a league game. We're treating it the same. Listen, we're really looking forward to the game. It's going to be a really tough challenge, but one we want to embrace, you know, and one that we hopefully won't have any regrets from.
Finally, it's quiz time, and this week it's Matt Grimes against Mark Noble. So how's your cup trivia, lads?
My knowledge is not great about it, but I'll try.
Question 1. The holders and the competition's most successful club, Arsenal, are out after losing to Southampton in round 4. So which team left in the competition has the most FA Cup wins to their name?
United. Man United.
Manchester United.
Correct. The most successful side left in the competition are Manchester United, with 12 wins, 2 fewer than Arsenal. Question 2. Swansea host Manchester City. But who scored the winning goal the last time the clubs met in the competition 2 years ago?
Wow.
Aguero. Yeah, I remember that one.
Sorry to remind you, Matt, it was Sergio Aguero who scored the decisive goal in City's 3-2 win 2 years ago. Question 3. Mr. West Ham, Mark Noble, scored his very first Hammers goal in the FA Cup. But in what year?
2000 and...
I'll say 2003.
2007.
2007.
Correct. Mark's first West Ham goal was in a third-round win over Brighton in 2007. Question 4. Barnsley famously beat Chelsea in the 2008 quarter-finals. But who was the Blues manager at the time?
Wow, that was a long time ago now, wasn't it?
Ranieri.
I'm going to guess Avram Grant.
Oh.
Well done, Matt. Chelsea's manager 13 years ago was indeed Mark's former West Ham boss, Avram Grant. And finally, Everton and Spurs last met in the 1995 semi-finals. But which Nigerian striker scored twice in a 4-1 win for the Toffees?
In 95?
Nigerian striker?
I'd just been born.
I think I was 8 at the time.
Oh, I don't know.
Go on, tell me.
Well, it was Daniel Amakachi who scored the most important goals of his Everton career. So this week's quiz ends in a 3-3 draw.
Yeah, I'll take that.
Cheers, pal.
It's beginning to get serious. The FA Cup 5th round has conjured up some classic matches and moments. Enjoy the action, and we'll see you in March.
Leeds United have beaten. Look at the celebration. What a moment in FA Cup history. The substitute strikes for Portsmouth. Barkley shot. Absolutely fired home.
Here's the record. Juan Givez sets a new scoring record. 6 goals in a game.